All right. Well, what's going on, everyone?
Mark What's up? What's
here,
happening? What's going on? Back to another episode of the Fish and Chips Movie Review.
Matt. No, we're not on Fish and Chips Movie Review. This is World Wrestling Review. Dude, I told you this many times. The one thing I wanted my guests to get this right is to say it correctly, and you screwed it up.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, there's only one thing I can say after this. I always forgive my guests. They're welcome anytime. I love my guests. What's going on, guys? My name is Mark Bassler, and welcome back to another episode of World Wrestling Review. And like I said before, the last episode, I would start having guests on my show, and I always keep my promises. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Matthew Fischioni. Please introduce yourself, Matt.
Hey, guys. My name is Matt Fischioni, and some of you might recognize me as the co-host of the Fish and Chips Movie Reviews. I'm a senior major in communications. And, you know, since this is like a wrestling show, I'll say it. I would say my favorite wrestler has to be a tie between Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, both wrestling for all elite wrestling.
For sure. Yeah, I've been fans of them for a long time, and I give them full gratitude for keeping on doing what they love doing, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something, Matt. We've got quite an epic topic to talk about today and for WWE, don't we?
Oh, yeah. As you know, we're talking about Survivor Series, and we're going over some matches. And Mark, let's just get started. I'm ready for it.
I am ready. Let's get right to it. So let's first talk about one match that actually interests both of us, and that was the men's Survivor Series match. Now, to be honest, I thought that this match was pretty well done. Just the only thing that I was a little confused about is that pretty much Team Raw pretty much wiped the floor with Team SmackDown. Like, I was expecting at least one or two members of Raw to at least be eliminated, but Team Raw just decimated SmackDown.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm really not surprised, because between the two teams, it seemed though that Team Raw kind of got the full treatment when it comes to like having a backstory. And, you know, we've seen many weeks on Raw that, you know, they were the one team that a lot of people were predicting that they were going to win. And surely enough, they won, but in a surprising fashion, you know, swipe the house to SmackDown. I mean, to go over the few moments of the match, you know, we got Jey Uso, who was the last survivor of the SmackDown team, you know, throwing super kicks, you know, everywhere, just, you know, taking out everybody. He was going to go for the Uso splash on AJ Styles, but, you know, luckily enough, Keith Lee made in the save, caught him up, and countered his finishing move, the Spirit Bomb, for the 1-2-3. Team Raw, which was AJ Styles, Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, Braun Strowman, and Sheamus, won it for Team Raw.
Honestly, all I can say is that at least SmackDown put up a good fight, at least.
Yeah, except for Seth Rollins, though. He pretty much, that was the one big question mark on my mind. He kind of like self-sacrificed himself, you know, for the team. I don't know what that did for the team. It kind of just like damaged it some more, but, you know, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Your part. Oh my God, and a bro kick by Sheamus, and here's the cover and a hook to the leg, and Rollins is eliminated.
Now, let's move on to one that really interests you, Matt, and that is the New Day versus the Street Profits. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, so New Day, you know, not only the best team on Raw, but arguably the best team in the entire roster right now, like in all the brands of WWE. Street Profits, you know, a fan favorite. You know, they are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. New Day, the Raw Tag Champs. You know, there has been so much hype building around this match, and, you know, boy, they delivered. I would say this one, you know, I could argue like this was like my favorite match on the show. You know, back then when I started, you know, just watching WWE like crazy, you know, I loved the New Day, especially when they were heels at the time. And here in this match, they definitely showed their heel side, and they definitely sold the Street Profits as faces, and this was a heck of a match, Mark.
I know, I agree. Because, like, let's be honest, the same personality that the New Day has and the Street Profits has, like, building up that energy, the energy and positivity that they both teams have for Raw and SmackDown, and just to see them collide in the kind of energy, I feel like that's almost like a dream tag team match that many people would want to see. And again, you're absolutely right. Boy, did they deliver for sure.
Absolutely. They definitely delivered.
Amazing. But let's move on to another match that actually interests me, and that was the Women's Survivor Series match. Now, this match, I know, I see it. This match actually had more eliminations for Team Raw than the Men's Survivor Series team match. That's one thing that I'll actually say that was pretty interesting about it, is that both teams pretty much eliminated each other back and forth until there were only like a few people left on each team. But due to the fact that pretty much Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler have pretty much been bullying Lana and forcing her to stay at the bottom of the steps and not to move like they're the parents of her, and having them do all the work, and for Team Raw to have at least one advantage for one wrestler who didn't do a dang thing, just sat there and let everyone else work. Honestly, I can say I actually do like that Lana was actually the sole survivor, because I mean, if you guys didn't know, for like weeks now on Raw, she has been put through the announce table like 9 times and I start to feel bad for Lana, honestly, because I don't think she really deserves this, but I thought for sure she was going to go through that table on Survivor Series for a 10th time. But you know what? She's the sole survivor, and I give credit to her for not doing anything.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like, I felt like she should have had a more of an important role into this match. Like, I'm not sure if you saw the Team Cena versus Team Authority match from the 2014 Survivor Series, where Dolph Ziggler was the only left survivor. He eliminated 3 members from Team Authority, and he won on his team. I would have wanted Lana to have that same kind of treatment, because honestly, like you said, within weeks and weeks, she's been going through announce tables by Nia Jax, and you just kind of had to feel bad for her, and I just wanted her to have that one moment to redeem herself, and that didn't happen. But hey, she was the last survivor, so I guess that's good. I mean, yeah.
Let's just hope that Nia doesn't put her through at least another 9 more times on a table.
I think it's definitely going to happen within the next couple of weeks.
Yep. Oh well. I pray for sure. But anyway, now those things are out of the way, let's get down to a match that you and I both enjoyed a lot, and that was the main event of Survivor Series, which was Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, champion versus champion. What do you have to say?
Yeah, so for those who do not know, Drew McIntyre, he's the WWE champion on Raw. Roman Reigns, the Universal champion on SmackDown. Obviously, I definitely think that, just like I said with the New Day versus Street Profits match, probably, one of the best matches of the night. I mean, these two heavyweights, 2 at the top of their respective brands, obviously they delivered a heck of a performance. And to go over some of the closing moments, Reigns was dominating Drew McIntyre absolutely crazy. I mean, he was I remember he Samoa dropped him through the announce table. He speared him through the barricade. He went for the cover, and that didn't even do. But at the closing moments, Drew McIntyre was trying to fight back, and Roman's cousin, Jey Uso, kind of made in for the save, and then Roman, kind of went back in it by giving Drew a low blow and put him in a submission chokehold, which was very odd for Roman, considering the fact he has a limited moveset, but that actually worked for him to deliver the win. Absolutely amazing match. And for me, I predicted Roman to win, and I'm definitely glad that he won. Drew
McIntyre and Roman Reigns had a lot of incredible history with each other. And the fact that they were able to go back and forth between each other, and like they keep kicking out of all of their finishers. Like Roman delivered like what 2 or 3 spears to Drew,
Yeah,
and still kick out.
that was crazy.
And,
that was crazy.
And Drew McIntyre delivered as many Claymore kicks as he could, and
Yeah.
Roman still kicked out. But like as you said, Jay Uso was, while the referee was knocked out, Jay Uso was able to come in, help his cousin retain the title, and that was the end of that.
I mean, I love the side of Roman. I hope that he continues to do with this, going into 2021. And yeah, I'm just really happy that he won against Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I agree. It's probably one of the most amazing dream matches that I'm sure a lot of people would have loved to see. And again, they delivered without a doubt, and I give them full credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on to probably something that I almost had me on the edge of tears at the end, was the Undertaker's final farewell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
For 30 years, the Undertaker has made the slowest entrance possible, and took his hat off, rolled his eyes, did his amazing wrestling careers, had an outstanding WrestleMania streak, probably one of the best streaks ever, and it was just so sad to see him go due to the fact that he's been here for 30 years and just like one of the biggest legends of all finally retiring. I really did enjoy his final farewell, but I'm going to be honest, I really did wish that that the Undertaker could have at least maybe said a little bit more, instead of just like, now my time is end, my time to rest in peace, and then he just like goes off like that. I feel like he should have like maybe delivered a little bit big of a promo to say his final farewell and everything. But as soon as he kneeled and paid tribute to Paul Bearer, that one really almost got me for sure, because of all the years I've never seen him like mention Paul Bearer or anything to do with him, but at this final moment he paid a huge tribute to him, and that really got me in the heart, man. Yeah. Let me tell you.
I mean, we can argue about like who's the greatest wrestler of all time, and of course you're going to hear names like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, John Cena, even Chris Jericho, like I mentioned before, but one name, or even Bret Hart, my bad. But if we're going to talk, but you cannot forget about The Undertaker. I mean, the guy carried his same persona, but somehow reinvented, his gimmick. There was the American like badass version, which was like, we can argue it was like his greatest gimmick ever,
yeah.
The guy put on like amazing, 5-star classic matches with talent like Shawn Michaels and Triple H and Stone Cold. Just a phenomenal human being, a great talent, a professional, and not every career is supposed to last forever. And for what it was for these 3 years, it's been absolutely magical. And to the Undertaker, it's been a pleasure that everyone witnessed, your amazing matches. We got to know you, and we got to view your career from beginning to end. Thank you, Undertaker.
Thank you very much, Undertaker. But you know what? He's like, what, 55 years old now, and he still looks good for a 55-year-old, and he's done outstanding matches and outstanding careers, and we'll never forget him for that.
Definitely.
Oh man. Well, that's all pretty much we have time for today, sadly. But Matt, I do want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. Please come back anytime. You're welcome back anytime. We can talk more about this for sure.
Oh, definitely. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Mark Bassler. He's Matthew Fischioni. And this is World Wrestling Review signing
off.